Let me ask you something, right here at the start. Who are you really? I'm not asking for the name you were given at birth, or the roles you play: son, daughter, friend, employee, boss. No, I'm asking about the you that exists beyond all those labels. The you that watches your thoughts, that feels joy, pain, love, fear. You might think you know, but what if I told you that everything you believe about yourself is incomplete, a kind of mask you've been wearing? What if I told you that the person you think you are is just a shadow, and the real you has been waiting, quietly, to be discovered? We live in a world where we're constantly told what to be. From the moment we're born, society starts shaping us. Here's who you should be to fit in. Here's what success looks like. Here's what you should fear, what you should strive for, what you should believe. And so, we build these elaborate identities based on the expectations of others. We become trapped in a story we didn't even write. But deep down, in the quiet moments when the world isn't screaming its demands, you felt it, haven't you? That nagging sense that you're not living your truth, that there's something more to you, something bigger, something eternal. You see, there's a reason you feel that way. It's because you're one of the chosen. Now, don't misunderstand me. Being chosen doesn't make you better than anyone else. It's not about ego or superiority. It's about purpose. It's about awakening. Chosen ones are those who feel the pull, the undeniable urge to break free from the illusion of who they've been told they are and uncover the truth of their existence. And if you're still here, listening, then I know you feel it too. You wouldn't have made it this far if you didn't.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
But let's get real for a second. It's not easy, is it? The journey to discover who you really are is messy, uncomfortable, even terrifying at times. Because to find the truth, you have to let go of the lies. And those lies, they're sticky. They cling to you because they've been with you for so long, you've mistaken them for yourself. It's like peeling away layer after layer of old skin, and each layer feels like a part of you is dying. In a way it is. But what's dying is not the real you, it's the false self, the mask. Here's where it gets interesting. Most people spend their entire lives never questioning the mask. They live and die without ever realizing they were wearing one. But you've started to question. Maybe you've felt out of place your whole life, like you didn't quite fit in no matter how hard you tried. Maybe you've always had this sense that there's a deeper meaning to everything, even if you couldn't quite put your finger on it. Or maybe life has thrown you into chaos, loss, heartbreak, failure, and forced you to ask the big questions. Why am I here? What's the point of all this? Who am I really? If any of that resonates with you, then you're already on the path. And let me tell you something, the fact that you're even asking these questions is a sign of your awakening, because most people don't. Most people are content to stay asleep, to live their lives on autopilot, chasing things they've been told will make them happy but never truly satisfy their soul. But you're different. You've felt the emptiness of the illusion, and now you're ready to see what's behind it. Here's the thing, the journey to uncovering your true self isn't about becoming something new. It's about remembering who you've always been. Imagine for a moment that you're an actor on a stage. You've been playing this role for so long that you've forgotten you're even acting. You've gotten so lost in the character that you think the character is who you are. But deep down, you're not the character, you're the actor. And the actor is limitless. The actor can step into any role, any life, any experience without ever losing sight of who they really are. So, let me ask you again, who are you? And this time, I want you to really sit with that question. Don't rush to answer it. Just let it hang there in the air, because the truth is, the answer isn't something I can give you. It's not something anyone can give you. It's something you have to discover for yourself. But here's what I can tell you: you are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not your body. You are not your past, your future, your successes, or your failures. All of those things are just experiences you're having. They're not you. You are the awareness behind it all, the silent witness, the stillness that watches everything come and go. That's who you are. And that awareness, it's infinite, it's timeless, it's connected to everything and everyone. It's the part of you that has no beginning and no end. The part of you that has always been here, watching, waiting, knowing. But here's the kicker: knowing this intellectually isn't enough. It's not something you can just think your way into. You have to experience it. You have to feel it in your bones, in your heart, in your very soul. And that takes courage. It takes willingness. It takes letting go of everything you think you know about yourself and stepping into the unknown. So, how do you do that? How do you start peeling away the layers of the false self to uncover the truth? It begins with awareness. Start paying attention to your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions. Notice when you're acting out of fear or trying to please others or clinging to an identity that no longer serves you. Don't judge yourself for it, just notice, because awareness is the first step to freedom. You can't change what you're not aware of, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. And here's a little secret: the more you practice awareness, the more you'll start to notice something incredible. You'll start to see that you're not the thoughts, the emotions, or the reactions. You're the one who's aware of them. You're the observer, the witness. And the more you identify with the observer rather than the observed, the freer you'll become. But I'm warning you now, this path isn't for the faint of heart. It will challenge you in ways you can't even imagine. It will strip away everything you thought you knew about yourself, until there's nothing left but the raw, unfiltered truth. But that's where the magic is. That's where you'll find the real you. So, are you ready to take the first step? Are you ready to let go of who you think you are and discover who you really are? Because if you are, then let me tell you, this journey will change everything. It will break you open in the best possible way. It will show you a reality so vast, so profound, that you'll wonder how you ever lived without it. But before we go any further, I want you to sit with this question one last time. Who are you? Not the name, not the story, not the mask. Who are you really? And are you ready to find out? So here we are, at the final stretch of this journey together. By now, you've begun to see that you are not who you thought you were. The person you've been carrying around all these years, the one filled with fears, doubts, insecurities, and endless stories, is not the real you. That version of you was shaped by the world, molded by experiences, and held together by beliefs. But underneath all of that lies something unshakable, something eternal, something profoundly powerful. And now, it's time to awaken to the truth of that power. Let's get straight to it. You are infinite. You are eternal. You are not this fleeting body or the passing thoughts that swirl endlessly in your mind. You are not the successes you've achieved, nor the failures you've endured. You are not the relationships you've clung to or the pain you've carried. You are something far beyond all of that, a pure, limitless awareness, a spark of the infinite universe experiencing itself in human form. But let's be honest, it doesn't feel that way most of the time, does it? Most of the time you feel small, limited, and stuck. You live in a world that constantly reinforces the illusion of separation. You're told you're separate from others, from nature, from life itself. You're taught to believe in scarcity, to chase things outside of yourself in the hope that they'll make you feel whole. You're conditioned to think that happiness, peace, and fulfillment are things you need to earn, things you need to find out there, but nothing could be further from the truth. Here's the secret: everything you've ever been searching for has been within you all along. The love you seek, the peace you crave, the joy you long for, it's all there, waiting for you to notice it. But the reason you don't feel it is because you've been looking in the wrong direction. You've been looking outward when the truth is within. Pause for a moment and really take that in. Everything you've ever wanted is already within you. The love, the peace, the freedom, it's not something you have to chase. It's something you have to remember. So how do you remember? How do you awaken to the truth of who you really are? It starts with letting go. Letting go of the stories you've been holding on to. Letting go of the need to control, to fix, to prove. Letting go of the belief that you're broken or incomplete. Letting go of the idea that you need to become something better than you are right now. Because the truth is, you're already whole. You've always been whole. You just forgot. But here's the thing about letting go: it's not something you can force. It's not about pushing away the parts of yourself you don't like or pretending they don't exist. True letting go is about acceptance. It's about becoming so present, so aware, that you see through the illusion of separation. It's about realizing that even the pain, the fear, the doubt, they're not your enemies. They're just passing clouds in the sky of your awareness. And you are the sky. Vast, open, untouched by the storms that roll through. Take a deep breath right now. Inhale deeply and exhale slowly. Feel that stillness, that quiet space within you. That's the real you. The you that exists beyond the noise of the mind. The you that's always been there, silently watching, calmly waiting. And the more you connect with that stillness, the more you'll begin to see that it's not just within you, it's you. That stillness is your essence. It's your true nature. It's the infinite awareness that connects you to everything and everyone. And once you awaken to that truth, everything changes. You stop living as a victim of your circumstances and start living as the creator of your reality. Because here's the ultimate secret: you are not just a passenger in this life. You are the driver. The world you experience is a reflection of your inner state. When you live in fear and scarcity, you create a world of fear and scarcity. But when you align with the infinite power within you, when you live from a place of love, peace, and trust, the world reflects that back to you. This is not some abstract spiritual theory, it's a truth you can experience directly. So, the question is, are you ready to live from that truth? Are you ready to step into your power as a chosen one? Because being chosen isn't about being special, it's about being aware. It's about waking up to the reality that you are not separate from life, you are life. You are the universe in motion, the infinite expressing itself in this unique, temporary form. And when you truly embrace that, you become unstoppable. But let me warn you, this awakening is not a destination. It's not something you achieve and then check off your list. It's a journey, a process. There will be times when you forget, times when you fall back into the old patterns of fear and limitation. And that's okay. That's part of being human. The key is to keep coming back to the truth, to keep reminding yourself of who you really are, to keep choosing love over fear, awareness over distraction, truth over illusion. Let me leave you with one final practice, something simple but powerful. Every day, take a few moments to sit in stillness. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and just notice. Notice your thoughts, your emotions, your sensations. Don't try to change anything, just observe. And then, ask yourself this question: who is the one noticing the thoughts, the feelings, the breath? Who is the one aware of it all? Sit with that question. Don't try to answer it with your mind. Just let it take you deeper into the stillness. Because the one who is aware is the real you. And the more you connect with that awareness, the more you'll awaken to the infinite power of who you truly are. So, chosen one, the time has come. The time to let go of who you thought you were and embrace the truth of who you've always been. The time to step into your power, to live from your essence, to become a beacon of light in a world that desperately needs it. The time to awaken. Because you're not who you think you are. You're so much more. And the world is waiting for you to remember. Let's go even deeper now. You've begun to peel back the layers, to touch the stillness within you, and to glimpse the truth of who you really are. But there's a step beyond just knowing yourself. There's a realization that transforms the way you see not only yourself, but everything and everyone around you. It's the understanding that you are not separate from the world. The universe is not something happening to you, it's something happening through you. And in its infinite wisdom, it reflects back to you exactly what you need to see. Let me ask you this. Have you ever noticed how life has a way of mirroring your inner world? When you're joyful, doesn't the world seem brighter, more alive? And when you're caught in fear or anger, doesn't it feel like the whole universe conspires to frustrate you? This is no coincidence. Life is a mirror. It reflects back to you the energy you project into it. And if you're ready to see it, this mirror holds the key to your ultimate awakening. Think about the people in your life. The ones who uplift you, the ones who challenge you, the ones who seem to push every button you have. What if I told you that every single one of them is a reflection of you? The person who inspires you is showing you the qualities within yourself that you may not fully recognize yet. The person who frustrates you is holding up a mirror to the parts of yourself that you've yet to heal or accept. Every interaction, every relationship, every moment is an opportunity to see yourself more clearly. But here's the catch: most of us resist the mirror. When someone triggers us, our first reaction is usually to blame them. They're the problem, we think. If only they would change, I'd be fine. But the truth is, the reason they trigger you is because they're reflecting something within you that you haven't fully faced. Maybe it's an old wound, a buried fear, or an aspect of yourself you've rejected. Whatever it is, the universe will keep sending you that reflection until you're ready to see it, to own it, and to heal it. This is why the journey of awakening isn't just about sitting in stillness or meditating in isolation. It's about engaging with life, with all its messiness and beauty, and using every experience as a tool for growth. The people who challenge you the most are often your greatest teachers. They force you to look at the parts of yourself you'd rather avoid. And when you have the courage to face those parts, something incredible happens. The mirror changes. The relationship softens, the trigger lessens, and you begin to experience the world in a completely new way. But it doesn't stop with people. The mirror of the universe is everywhere. It's in the patterns you notice, the synchronicities you experience, the lessons that seem to repeat themselves. Have you ever felt like life was trying to tell you something? Like the same message kept showing up in different forms of conversation, a book, a song, a dream. That's the universe speaking to you. And the more you pay attention, the more you'll realize that it's been speaking to you all along. The question is, are you listening? Let's take this even further. What if I told you that the entire universe is a reflection of you? That when you look at the stars, the mountains, the oceans, you're not just seeing nature, you're seeing yourself. Because the same life force that flows through you flows through everything. You and the universe are not two separate things. You are the universe, experiencing itself as this unique, temporary form. And when you truly understand this, the illusion of separation dissolves. pause for a moment. Close your eyes if you can, and imagine you're standing in front of a vast, still lake. The surface is so smooth, it's like a perfect mirror. As you gaze into it, you see not just the reflection of your face, but the reflection of the entire sky above you, the clouds, the stars, the infinite expanse. Now ask yourself, is the reflection separate from the sky? Or is it simply another way the sky expresses itself? In the same way, your life is not separate from the universe. It's a reflection of it. And when you see yourself in this way, everything changes. This understanding brings with it a profound sense of responsibility. If the world you experience is a reflection of your inner state, then the way to change the world is to change yourself. If you want more love in your life, embody love. If you want more peace, become peace. If you want more kindness, show kindness to yourself and to others. The energy you put out into the world will always be reflected back to you. This isn't just a spiritual principle, it's how energy works, how life works. But don't let this overwhelm you. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to fix yourself overnight. Awakening is a process, a journey. It's about taking one step at a time, becoming a little more aware each day, a little more present, a little more loving. And as you do, you'll begin to notice the mirror shifting. The world will start to feel lighter, brighter, more aligned with the truth of who you are. So, let me ask you, what is life reflecting back to you right now? What are the people around you showing you about yourself? What patterns are repeating in your life? And what wisdom are they trying to reveal? Sit with these questions. Don't rush to answer them. Just let them take root in your awareness, because the answers are already within you. They're waiting for you to look into the mirror and see yourself clearly. And when you do, when you see yourself not as separate from life, but as life itself, you'll realize something extraordinary. You'll realize that you've never been lost, never been broken, never been incomplete. You've always been whole. You've always been the mirror and the reflection and the infinite light behind it all. The only question now is, are you ready to see it? So here we are, at the culmination of this journey. We've explored the illusions that have kept you trapped, the deeper truth of who you are, and the mirror-like nature of the universe reflecting your inner reality. But what's next? What does it mean to live as your awakened self? What does it mean to embody the infinite, timeless, and boundless being that you truly are? It means returning to wholeness. It means coming home to yourself, not as something you need to become, but as something you've always been. Let's start with this: the world will still pull at you. Even after you awaken to the truth, the noise of life won't simply disappear. The demands, the distractions, the fears, they'll all still be there, trying to drag you back into the illusion of separation. But here's the difference: when you know who you truly are, those things lose their power over you. They don't disappear, but your relationship with them changes. You no longer react from a place of fear or lack. Instead, you respond from a place of peace, strength, and love. Living as the infinite you doesn't mean escaping the world or retreating into isolation. It means engaging with life fully, but doing so with awareness. It means seeing every challenge and every interaction as an opportunity to express your true nature. When someone treats you unkindly, for example, you don't need to react with anger or defensiveness. Instead, you can see their behavior for what it is: a reflection of their own pain or misunderstanding, and respond with compassion. This doesn't mean letting people walk all over you. It means standing in your power while remaining rooted in love. But how do you stay connected to this truth when the world feels overwhelming? The key is presence. Life only happens in the present moment. The stories of the past and the worries about the future, they're creations of the mind. When you bring your attention fully into the now, You step out of the illusion and into the truth. In this moment, there's no separation, no lack, no fear. There's just the fullness of life flowing through you. Here's a simple practice to anchor yourself in presence. Whenever you feel yourself getting caught up in the chaos of life, pause. Take a deep breath. Feel the air entering your lungs, the sensation of your feet on the ground, the rhythm of your heartbeat. Remind yourself, I am here. I am now. I am whole. Even a few moments of this can shift your entire perspective. And as you live more and more from this place of awareness, something magical happens. You start to see the world differently. You see beauty in the simplest things: a sunrise, a smile, the sound of the wind. You feel a deep connection to others, even strangers, because you recognize that at the deepest level, they are you. You find joy not in chasing something outside of yourself, but in the pure experience of being alive. This is the return to wholeness. It's not about escaping the human experience, it's about embracing it fully, while knowing that you are so much more than it. It's about living with intention, with love, with a deep sense of peace that nothing in the external world can shake. So here's my final question for you. Are you ready to live as the infinite you? Are you ready to step into the world, not as someone searching for meaning, but as the embodiment of it? Because the world needs you, not the small, limited version of you, but the infinite, awakened you. The you who knows the truth. The you who remembers. This is your time to awaken fully, your time to shine, your time to live not as who you think you are, but as who you truly are, whole, limitless, infinite, always.